Good evening, everyone. This is Tyler Penland, Northeast Georgia weather information forecaster. The one you see posting all the stuff. I got a little bit to talk about here tonight, so we'll go ahead and get started. Start off with obviously what's coming up first, which is the copious amounts of rain we're expecting in this couple days. This is the latest GFS forecast, which is the American long-range model. It covers, it goes a lot further than the short range. You can see it. Gives us somewhere in the 1 to 2 inch range over the next 48 hours. And the official forecast from the National Weather Service, I forgot to pull up. This is your beautiful weather.gov homepage. If it'll load for me. There we go. You can see there's a flash flood watch, or a flood watch. I'm sorry, not flash flood watch, just a flood watch out for parts of far northwest Georgia. They're expecting the most rain. There's a current radar. You can see it getting ready to set up shop. And the forecasting, official forecast is 2 to 3 inches across. You can see parts of Hall County, Dawson County, Lumpkin, White County, Habersham, and on up into northern sections of White and Lumpkin. Expecting a 3 to 4 inch range up Towns, Union, Gilmer County, areas like that. And the flash flooding threat is more over here in this area. Either way, we're expecting a good deal of rain. It would not surprise me to see the flood watch extended to cover a larger area by tomorrow morning, but we'll have to kind of wait and see how that plays out. One other thing I wanted to show you was the NAM, which is the shorter range models forecast. You can see it keeps us kind of in the same area, 1 to 2 inches, with very sharp gradient as the cold front kind of stalls out. Here we go. For the next 60 hours, it shows the 2 inch line running right across northeast Georgia. So we'll kind of have to wait and see how it plays out. Just see exactly where the line of showers actually sets up at. As you can see here on the positive activity, it's still raining a little bit across the area. But expect radar to look something like this right here. If it'll get there. There you go. See, it's just band of showers just kind of set up over us for the next 2 days as the cold front stalls out. Speaking of the cold front, currently, you can see about where it's located. Let's fast forward because this is a little bit behind. You see the cold front's kind of located kind of right back in here right now. You see there's a very sharp temperature gradient, and it's actually going to set up kind of right here for the next 2 days. Our forecast highs are expected to stay around the 50s. The cold front's not actually going to penetrate through here yet. It's not going to quite get to us. It's going to stall out. But expect temperatures the next couple days to be in the 50s, actually kind of heading on the rest of the week. Expect highs to fall in the mid to upper 50s. Lows overnight start with in the 40s and then fall into the 30s around freezing by Thursday morning for sure. Speaking of being around freezing, weather models are starting to kind of hint at a winter weather setup for us this Thursday and Friday. I waited to make this video until after the newest GFS came out, and here is the surface snowfall forecast through 99 hours, which is valid 1/18, which is Friday here, at 3Z, which is Greenwich Median Time, so it's about minus 4 hours. This is 11 p.m. Friday. As you can see, the GFS actually develops a pretty big area of snow here across most of North Georgia, parts of upstate South Carolina. I haven't really had time to look at it too much. There's a little hole here in upstate South Carolina, and then it goes from a whole nothing to a whole bunch right there. I'm not sure about that, but see this great big area of snow here across Mississippi, Alabama, North Georgia, upstate South Carolina, and then really gets a bunch of snow here in the Tennessee, North Carolina mountains. And this is associated with an upper level low that's forecast to come out of the southwest and traverse the east. And upper level lows are extremely difficult to forecast, so this is a very low confidence forecast. I have to a little disclaimer there. It may not wind up snowing at all, but the weather model is certainly hinting at the possibility the NAM, which the model I just showed you, that short-range model, doesn't quite go out this far yet. It only goes out through 84 hours. However, it develops a good area of snow to our west that will be pushing east as obviously as time progresses. And so we're hoping we can overcome some temperature problems and see some snow by Friday, but that's yet to be determined. I just figured I'd let y'all know. And here's some bounce back. I'm going to use talkweather.com. This is the site I post most on, and as far as a weather site. And you can see this is the Euro from lunchtime today. It developed very similar forecast of a couple inches of snow across parts of Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, and then the next frame it really dug in over South Carolina. Between frames here, we'd probably hopefully see some more snow. I'm not sure, but this was the NAM I was just talking about. Its forecast through 84 hours. See, it's developing a pretty big area of snow back here, and so we'll see. Hopefully, we'll see some snow in the North Georgia mountains by Friday, which would be kind of nice. The other thing that really the weather world has been rocking over the last few days has been the upcoming pattern change. And I know we've been talking about pattern change over and over again the last 6 weeks, and believe me, we're getting tired of it too. But at this time, it looks like something's finally going to happen. And this has to do with it's called what we call a sudden stratospheric warming event, which is where the stratosphere suddenly warms up. And this can help to dislodge something we call the polar vortex. I'm going to try to show you this via heights, which is basically just pressure maps. This is the current look at 500 millibars, which is just way up in the atmosphere. It's the pressure to millibars way up in the atmosphere. And currently the polar vortex, you can see a split. It's these two areas of low pressure here. One located right now over parts of Russia and northern Europe right in here. And the other one is located over parts of extreme northern Canada. And right now there is a warming event. The atmosphere is warming up in this area right in here. I wish I had something I could draw with. Make this a bit easier. But this area right in here is currently warming up a lot. It's actually been pretty impressive and quite unexpected. But what this is doing is it's helped to break this polar vortex, which was just one large piece, into two very separate pieces. And hopefully this is going to kind of dive down in the United States. But let's take a look here. Right now, 0 hour, you can see there's currently these bright reds or ridges, which is high pressure systems, and these dark blues and purples and are troughs, which is low pressure systems, and colder air. You can pretty much, red is warmer, blue is colder. Currently you can see a big trough or cold air set over the western United States, which is why they're very cold out in Denver and parts of the Rockies. They're very, very cold right now. In fact, San Francisco, Los Angeles saw some temperatures in the low 50s, which is unheard of out there. Not quite record lows or anything, or record temperatures, but quite cold. And here over the east is the high-pressure systems that have been dominating our weather the past few days, which is what's made it very nice and warm, which is nice for you, boring for us folks in the weather. But that's just what brought our 70-degree temperatures the last 2 days. You can say goodbye to the 70s still. Hopefully late February, but hoping anyways. I'm just going to go ahead and skip the end of the run here because try to keep this short. See, this is the end of the run, not what I was trying to click on. I wanted to see anomalies. That is anomalies, never mind. Is it? Is that the right thing? Yeah, I just don't know what I'm doing. As you can see, the pattern is completely reversed by the end of this run. And in fact, every major global model is showing us something very similar to this in that a trough developing over the east, a ridge developing over the west is what we call a PNA ridge, a Pacific North American ridge, essentially, which get a ridge over here, and it helps to drag this cold air down across the United States, or the eastern United States, and here it's a little bit more well defined. Here you can really see the ridge here and the trough there, but most importantly, it's moving the polar vortex, really consolidating it here, and in past runs it's been sliding it into the southeastern areas of Canada, which would mean some very, very, very cold air for us. This particular run didn't slide it quite that far south. However, it still develops a good trough, and really the overall look is for much cooler temperatures, getting us below normal. As you can see, these are the above normal, below normal, green being above normal, blue below normal. And you can see it gets below normal temperatures here across the east. The last run did the same thing, and runs all over. Like I said, every major global model is showing something similar to this. As we head late into the month and in the 1st of January, we should start seeing much cooler temperatures, which will hopefully mean a chance at snow. Hope we don't want it to get too cold, because it can actually be too cold for snow. That's not important. At this point, we just need to keep in mind that a big pattern change is coming, and this time we have a lot more confidence in the pattern change than in the past, thanks to that stratospheric warming event. So like I said, helps to dislodge the cold air from North Pole and push it south into Europe and into the United States. And so hopefully that's how things will pan out. I'll keep you updated on the rain, if we get any flash flood or flood watches out. The potential snow, well, I should start getting a little bit of a better handle on that as the shorter range models start getting closer. They tend to handle upper level lows pretty well, but I have a pretty sneaking suspicion somebody's going to get a surprise out of this in the southeast. Hopefully it's us, but you never know. Just never know. Weather's quite unpredictable at times. There's an old saying that upper level low is a weatherman's woe, and they really are very difficult to predict. And also, I'll keep you updated on the pattern change as we kiss the 70s goodbye, thankfully for some, and some of you I'm sure are wishing they'd hang around. But kiss the 70s goodbye, and get some cold air in here, but get what we need to be seeing in January. I wanted to thank Alan Huffman. This is his model page I've been using. Also, Twister Data. It's another model page, and the Weather Service, and InstantWeatherMaps.com, which is yet another model page. And so I hope you all have a very good evening. Enjoy your week. Dress waterproof tomorrow and Tuesday and Wednesday, and just enjoy the weather. Y'all have a good evening.